Hello everyone, welcome back. It's late August. It's a grey day. I thought it was time for another little plot tour. Let's have a look around, see what harvest we've been getting. Starting over there at the back of the bean frame. So after a really slow start to the season, the beans they've finally started producing quite a decent amount of pods. Nowhere near as much as last year, but I'm much happier now with the amount I've been getting. Still got loads up, up high here. I've snipped off the tops, so that should make them produce more lower down. These ones are Cobra, which I grew last year. They're a really good bean. These ones are called Sunshine, and initially I was thinking, these are just not going to work, but I think they must just take a bit longer than the Cobra to get going. So there's quite a lot to pick there now, so I'll do that in a while. But quite relatively happy with these beans now. And there's some more over in the shed bed, which I'll show you. So this is the shed bed where I just planted a few extra, to try and extend the season a bit, but I think maybe the soil here is a bit too compacted and they're not growing very well. As it's late August now, maybe they won't really climb up those canes much, but there's a few beans on there. I also had a couple of spare plants and I just chucked them in here. It's the old crate that's got some soil in that was meant to sift, but there was a space there and I thought I'd put them in there. They actually look really healthy, these plants, so got a few more in there, so that's alright. Down the back of the plot is where I put my corn. It's my first year growing corn and I've been really happy with the results. This variety is called Swift and I've got a cob in my hand here. It's not produced kernels at the end, but still a decent amount of corn on there. Most of the cobs have been almost full, so the only slight criticism I'd say of this corn is I thought the kernels are a bit small on the eating. So I might look at trying a different variety next year. I think it's the type of can't remember if it's sugar enhanced or super sweet or something. They produce smaller kernels, I think. So maybe a different variety next year. But generally I've been really happy with the corn. Okay, let's talk about the squashes. Right in front of this sea of cosmos, which has taken an age to start flowering. I planted 2 Uchiki squashes and they've vined around the side here. There's a ripened fruit over there. Around the other side here, resting on the sweetcorn bed. There's another nice one there. And down the back you can see one that's sort of halfway through ripening there. Over in the shed bed we've got a big decent size crown prince there, and another tiny little Uchiki Curie, and over on the other side you can see there another crown prince. This one's actually from Save Seeds. It looks almost identical to a crown prince to me. It's actually the 3rd year of Save Seeds, so be interesting to see how it tastes. I thought that was going to be the only crown prince we got too, which wasn't that happy with. I was hoping for about 4, but there's another one growing here. Hopefully that'll keep growing and have time to ripen. So not too unhappy about those squashes. And there's also got a little this is called a honey bear squash, small thing really, but think that's the size they grow to. There's one more down at the back of the plot as well. So relatively pleased with the squashes. And over on the archway, these are Jack B. Little pumpkins, and there's absolutely loads of them. This is probably the maybe this is the most successful thing I've grown. There's like, I don't know, I counted 12, but there's loads of little ones growing as well. There's loads over this side. I've still not tasted these pumpkins. I grew one and it ripened, and I gave that away. More little one there. I was kind of hoping that they'd all grow over the arches, but that didn't quite happen, but can't complain really. I also planted a few cucumbers on the arches, and these ones are a variety called Crystal Lemon, and they're quite happy with them. Getting quite a lot. And over on this side, this wasn't so healthy, this plant. This is, I think this is La Diva. But the La Diva cucumbers are really nice, but this plant's just not produced. I think I've had two off it. Yeah, two's better than nothing. Let's talk a bit about Brassicas. This is bed 1, and here I had mostly Calabrese and a few cauliflower. I've harvested the main heads of the Calabrese and now getting these side shoots. One thing that was really interesting is I decided to harvest a few leaves when I pulled out 2 plants here at the back on the edge, and I ate those the other day and they're absolutely delicious. I think they're nicer than the actual heads. Anyway, they've got a few side shoots growing there, and to replace those 2 Calabrese that I pulled out, I've put there's a Cavallonero there, curly green kale, dwarf kale there, another dwarf kale there, and there's a bunch of spring onions here. And just outside the frame here, got a few beetroot. I don't know if they're growing very well there. And this is celeriac, which has struggled a bit here, not sure why. I've got some celeriac in another bed that are doing much better. I just mentioned this La Diva cucumber again, because this was a spare plant that I just put in a container, and I'm really impressed with this cucumber. Really nice taste, crunchy. So I think it's a seedless variety and seems to grow well outdoors. So if you've got no undercover growing space, really recommend this variety. La Diva. A couple growing under there. Oh, there's another one there, look. Yeah, really good. Okay, this is more Brassicas in bed 5. This is where we had the shallots that we harvested a few weeks ago, and in here I've put 4 purple sprouting broccoli plants. There's 2 purple sprouting broccoli earlies and a later variety called Claret, and they've grown really well. I'm really happy with them, massive already. I might have to I'm thinking of somehow I've got to raise this up, so I'm thinking about maybe putting some wood about 2 feet along, and then some holes in the wood, and putting the blue pipe through those holes just to raise it up a couple of feet. Down the end here there's a couple of Spigarello plants. Spigarello is a cross between a kale and a purple sprouting broccoli, I believe. They're very pretty looking plants. I've never grown on before, but on the website they look great. And there's also some scarlet kale in there. I think there's 2. One of them's hidden, so might have to try and, there it is down there. Might have to try and sort that out. I've just planted out a few radish here, just because there was a gap there, so I thought I might as well put something there. And these are Spanish black round radish, which I've never tried before. They look quite cool. Hopefully they'll do alright there. I get a couple, 2 or 3 at least. Yeah, so right next door is a rather full looking bed. This is there's a few different things in here. Sprouts. They look great, really. I think the variety is called Bridget. There was a spare cauliflower that I put in there that don't think's starting to heart up yet, but that'll come out and give the sprouts a bit more room. And there's 4 bushel sprouts in here, a few weeds in there that I need to remove. There's also a couple of red cabbage that seem to be growing alright as well. It's a bit crowded in here, but once the cauliflower and the cabbage are gone, the sprouts will have a bit more room. And then down the end there, the celeriac I mentioned. And they look like they're starting to grow nice bulbs down the bottom, or hearts, or whatever you call them. They'll stay in there until they're a bit bigger, and I can leave them in the ground. I don't need to harvest them all at once. Yeah, so that bed's looking pretty nice. This bed here has got mostly leeks in it. That should look alright. Again, I need to weed that again, but I'll do that another day. In here I just chucked a load of beetroot, and there's a few spare swede that I had, and they seem alright. Be doing better than the other ones that had a load of caterpillars on them. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this massive tomato I've got that's just slowly starting to ripen. These are both beefsteak here. I think this one on the left is Cherokee Purple, and this one on the right is it's meant to be Aunt Ruby's German Green. And I'm slightly worried because one at home came out yellow, and now it looks like all 3 plants of the Aunt Rubies are coming out yellow, and that means it's the wrong variety. So I need to contact the seed seller to see what happened there and find out what variety this is. So I'm a bit disappointed about that one. Also, I've tasted one of these and they don't taste very nice to me, so yeah, pretty disappointed about that one. Okay, back in bed 1. I've already mentioned the honey bear squash that's growing down the front. There's a bit of a mishmash of stuff in this bed. Got some Swedes growing here. These were getting half eaten by caterpillars, and they seem to have recovered alright. So hopefully they'll grow on a little bit, get at least 2 or 3 out of that. Beetroot's down here. And here there was the 3 blight resistant varieties of tomatoes called Cocktail Crush. I'm not massively impressed with the flavour of these, but they're okay, and they're also a bit larger than I expected them to be in terms of fruit size. But it's good to have a few blight resistant ones. This one here at the front is I think it's a Rose Crush, which I planted a bit later. I've cut the tops off most of the tomatoes just so they can concentrate on ripening the fruit now that they've got. I'm not sure if these are going to ripen up, but this is blight resistant as well, so maybe it'll be okay. But as long as I get a taste, there'll be at least one ripening up, I'll be happy. That's bed 1. Just a quick mention of the parsnips. Parsnips were in a container at the back there, covered up with some carrots, and they weren't doing very well under there. They were sort of light getting blocked out by the fig and the squash plants, and the leaves were getting burnt because they were touching the netting a lot. So not looking very healthy. There are some roots in there though, but so hopefully there'll be a small harvest. Not really sure, maybe I should cut them back, let them start regrowing. My plan was just to have a few for Christmas. I'm not a massive fan of parsnips, but nice to have a few just at Christmas. And over in the carrot box, things look really good actually. I harvested a carrot out of here the other day, just wanted to test it. See how big they've got, and they're already really big considering it's only been maybe about 10 weeks, so really happy with that. And hopefully the netting's done its job of keeping the carrot root fly off. So things looking good there. A few sun gold here that need harvesting, and up here on the sunflowers, little bumblebee having a rest. I think that's about it for the plot. So after a pretty slow, worrying start to the season, we've been getting some good harvests. Hopefully the weather stays okay for another few weeks and we get a few more. I'll see you in the next one.